Benny Andersson's influence on music transcends fame, accolades, and the glittering image of pop stardom. Born in Stockholm in 1946, Benny's approach to music was driven by curiosity, technical mastery, and emotional depth rather than the pursuit of recognition. While ABBA's female vocalists captured the public spotlight, Benny worked quietly behind the scenes, shaping the arrangements and harmonies that would define a generation. From a young age, he demonstrated a keen ear for tone, structure, and emotion, fascinated both by the mathematical precision of classical compositions and the heartfelt storytelling of Swedish folk music. By the time he reached his teens, Benny was already collaborating with notable musicians, establishing a reputation for creativity, discipline, and an uncanny ability to translate feelings into music. His early experiences laid the foundation for the extraordinary sound he would later bring to ABBA, combining technical sophistication with raw emotional resonance. The formation of ABBA, a union of talent. Benny Andersson's path to global recognition began with his membership in the Swedish band Hepstars during the 1960s. As a talented composer and keyboardist, he contributed songs that climbed the national charts, showcasing his ability to craft compelling melodies and intricate arrangements. The turning point came in 1966 when Benny met Björn Ulvaeus, forming a partnership that would redefine pop music. Their creative synergy, combined with the exceptional voices of Agnetha Fältskog and Anni-Frid Lyngstad, created a dynamic and balanced ensemble. Early setbacks, such as an unsuccessful Eurovision attempt, did little to deter them. Instead, these challenges refined their vision, allowing them to blend pop sensibilities, folk influences, and emerging synthesizer technology into a sound that felt innovative yet deeply emotional. Benny's role as the arranger and architect of their music became central, his meticulous attention to harmony and orchestration giving ABBA songs a distinctive voice that captivated audiences worldwide. Crafting the sound, perfectionism, and emotional precision. Benny Andersson was not merely a member of ABBA, he was the architect of the band's musical identity. In the studio, his perfectionism became legendary as he spent hours refining harmonies, experimenting with layering and sculpting each note to evoke precise emotional responses. While Agnetha and Frida's voices conveyed intimacy and vulnerability, and Björn's lyrics explored love and heartbreak, it was Benny's careful construction of the musical environment that gave the songs their lasting impact. He was less concerned with trends and more focused on longevity, creating music that would endure far beyond contemporary charts. This dedication produced ABBA's signature duality, bright, catchy melodies underscored by subtle melancholy. Hits like Fernando, Knowing Me, Knowing You, and The Winner Takes It All became more than pop successes. They were carefully crafted emotional journeys, balancing accessibility with profound storytelling that could resonate on both personal and universal levels. The breakup. Personal struggles behind the glamour. ABBA's public image of perfection masked the deep personal strains within the band. As their fame grew in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the pressures of professional life collided with private hardships. The first cracks appeared in 1979 when Björn and Agnetha's marriage ended, placing an emotional burden on the group that inevitably influenced their music. A few years later, Benny and Anni-Frid Lyngstad also divorced, a reflection of the emotional detachment that came with Benny's intense focus on music. The weight of balancing professional excellence with personal turmoil proved overwhelming. Even as ABBA produced successful albums like Super Trooper, the cohesion that once fueled their creative brilliance began to erode. Benny later acknowledged that this emotional exhaustion, coupled with an inability to reconcile personal and professional demands, was the primary reason for ABBA's gradual withdrawal from the music scene in 1982, rather than conflict or betrayal. The silence, a gradual fade from the spotlight. Unlike many iconic bands, ABBA's departure from the music scene was quiet and unremarkable. There was no dramatic public falling out, only a subtle retreat. Their final single, Under Attack, failed to replicate the earlier commercial success, leaving fans puzzled and prompting widespread speculation. For decades, the silence of ABBA became a mystery, with rumors ranging from creative disagreements to hidden personal drama. Benny finally provided clarity in a 2024 interview, revealing that the band's hiatus was a conscious response to emotional depletion. The toll of maintaining an image of perfection while navigating personal heartbreaks had reached a breaking point. This candid reflection reframed ABBA's later works, explaining the melancholic undertones that had always threaded through their music. Benny's honesty offered fans the closure they had sought, affirming that ABBA's absence was a decision to preserve their emotional and creative integrity. Honest reflections. Benny on music and emotion. In the years following ABBA's split, Benny Andersson remained largely in the background, reflecting on the profound impact of his musical journey. He described his songwriting as a form of emotional escape, a medium through which he could communicate feelings too complex for conversation. This dedication to music often left personal relationships strained, as he admitted he gave his best lines to songs, not to the people who needed them. Benny's reflections reveal ABBA's music in a new light, not as commercial perfection, but as deeply human expressions of love, loss, and longing. Listeners can now perceive the songs as authentic emotional narratives shaped by the struggles and vulnerabilities of the musicians themselves. Benny's introspection underscores the idea that ABBA's artistic achievements were intertwined with personal sacrifice, making the band's legacy more complex, relatable, and profoundly moving than ever before. A new beginning. ABBA Voyage and reinvention. After decades of silence, ABBA re-emerged in 2018, first by recording 2 new songs and then by unveiling ABBA Voyage, a revolutionary digital concert featuring motion-captured versions of the band at the height of their 1979 energy. Benny Andersson, true to his meticulous nature, oversaw the production with precise attention to detail, ensuring the performance was both technically flawless and emotionally authentic. Fans across the globe were captivated by this blend of innovation and nostalgia. Rather than embarking on a traditional, physically demanding tour, even when offered $1 billion, the band chose to pioneer a digital format that preserved their artistic control and prioritized creative expression. ABBA Voyage became a statement on the evolution of performance, showing that legacy need not rely on past methods, but can be reinvented in ways that honor both the artist's vision and the audience's emotional connection. The unfinished story. Music as survival. Benny Andersson's story reminds us that behind every memorable song lies a hidden narrative. ABBA's music, while widely adored, often carried emotional subtleties that the public did not initially perceive. Benny's revelations illuminate the human experiences that shaped the band's sound. Personal struggles, relationships in flux, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. These factors forged music that resonated not only as entertainment but as emotional survival, offering listeners both solace and understanding. Today, ABBA's songs endure across generations, their melodies as captivating as ever, but now enriched by the knowledge of the personal challenges and resilience that underpinned their creation. Benny's voice, once quiet behind the music, is now central, revealing the depth and humanity behind one of the most iconic bands in history. Conclusion. A legacy of emotion and innovation. Benny Andersson's contributions to music extend far beyond the hits and accolades of ABBA. His work represents the fusion of technical mastery, emotional insight, and innovative vision. Through decades of collaboration, personal struggle, and creative exploration, Benny shaped not only the sound of a band, but the emotional landscape of modern pop music. From meticulous studio perfection to pioneering digital performances with ABBA Voyage, he has consistently demonstrated that music can be both a personal expression and a universal connector. Benny's story emphasizes resilience, artistic integrity, and the power of honesty, illustrating that the true legacy of ABBA is not merely its songs, but the deeply human experiences that gave rise to them. Music, in Benny's hands, became a language of survival, emotion, and timeless beauty.